In regards to the Aqeedah of Ahlussunnah, the Aqeedah of Ahlussunnah is arida, is wide, it's expansive, it's a lot to learn about, it's a lot to know. Student of knowledge, the Muslim has to engage himself in learning about these issues. Like the brothers in this masjid are teaching the book Sunnah. You yourself, you may be reading a particular book, at-Thahabi, or whatever you may be reading. The Aqeedah of Al-Islam is expansive, the Aqeedah of the people of the Sunnah. It's impossible for us to come today to deal with all of the aspects of the Aqeedah of Ahlussunnah. And the Aqeedah of the people of innovation is expansive as well, whether they are from the people of Shia or other than that, and that they oppose the way of Ahlussunnah in most issues. Al-Imam al-Shatibi rahimahullah ta'ala, one of the tremendous scholars of Al-Islam, who was from Spain, he wrote a book called Kitab al-Muwafaqat, another book called Kitab al-I'tisam. Two books, one Usul al-Fiqh, another one is dealing with being on the Sunnah and principles of the Sunnah. He was asked, when does a man go outside of the Sunnah? Is it when he disobeys or disagrees with Abu Usamah? Is it when he has a personal problem with another brother? Does he go outside of the Sunnah? Is it when he rejects a particular position of a sheikh with his ijtihad, he goes outside of the Sunnah? And Imam al-Shatibi spoke with knowledge. And he said that the man goes outside of the Sunnah in three cases. One of those cases, the one I'm mentioning here today, is that if that individual has a consistent pattern on opposing the Usul of Ahlussunnah, the Usul of Ahlussunnah, meaning he has a consistent pattern of opposing them. When he does that, he goes outside of the Sunnah. So when we talk about the Aqeedah of Ahlussunnah, there are a lot of things to talk about. What I want to do today, inshallah, is just concise my talk into three of the Usul of Ahlussunnah, three of the most important of the Usul in which the Shia go against. The people of the Shia, the people of Iran and Iraq, the people of Bangladesh and Pakistan who follow this Aqeedah of the Ithna Ashariyah. And these three Usul, Ikhwani, some of the scholars consider them to be the fundamental Usul, like Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. In his book Kitab al-Istiqamah, he mentioned that. Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, in his book Masail al-Jahiliyyah, he mentioned these three things. And they come to us as all of the fundamentals of the Sunnah come to us. From the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, Daleel, to prove the point. And from the authentic Sunnah of Abul Qasim al-Mustafa al-Amin, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. What are those three Usul that we want to talk about today, and not just talk about theoretically, but to encourage you, encourage myself to be upon them, and to be from the people who hold on to them. They come to us from a number of ayat and hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like the hadith that was collected by Imam Ahmed and Imam Malik. On the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam told us, إن الله تعالى يرضى لكم ثلاثة ويسخط لكم ثلاثة يرضى لكم أن تعبدوه ولا تشركوا به شيئا وأن تعتصموا بحبل الله وأن تناصحوا من والله الله أمركم. These are three of the most important Usul for the people of the Sunnah. Allah is pleased for you people to have and to be upon three things. To buy into them, to get your head around them, to call to them, to defend them, to be upon them, not to compromise them. He is pleased with these three things. And he dislikes, he is angry for you to be upon three other things. He said the three things that Allah Ta'ala is pleased with us to have is for you to worship Allah alone and not to make any shirk with Allah. Ibadatullah. Why you were created, why the books were revealed, why the prophets and the Rasul were sent, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. That you don't make shirk, whether shirkul akbar or shirkul asghar, because Allah Ta'ala doesn't forgive shirkul asghar. If the person dies making shirkul asghar, Allah won't forgive shirkul asghar, because the ayat are general. And how many people are in a daily way of making a shirk of showing off? making a shirk of showing off. Whether he's giving talks, he's not giving talks. Our culture is designed the way it is, popular culture. Easy for us to make shirkul asghar, showing off. And how is it possible? Ikhwani fillah, that the Prophet ﷺ told his companions, Abu Bakr Uthman, Ali, Kasha, Bilal, أخوف ما أخاف عليكم الشرك الأصغر. The thing that I'm afraid of most for you people, the companions, is الشرك الأصغر, and we don't have an issue with it. So anyway, Ikhwani, those are the three things. That you worship Allah, you don't make shirk with Him, and number two, that you hold on collectively to the rope of Allah, and you not divide amongst yourselves. Can't divide amongst yourselves. That's the asl from the usul of the sunnah, that we come together and we remain with the jama'ah of the Muslims. And that's why it's Ahlussunnah wal jama'ah, as opposed to Ahlul Bid'ah wal iftiraq, the people who have innovations and they're separated, because innovation is going to separate you. Number three, and the last and final one in this hadith, is that he says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah is pleased that you give advice to those people that Allah put in charge of your affairs. Your father is in charge of your affairs, the Khalifa, the Imam of the Masjid, the administration. Those are three of the usul of Ahlus Sunnah. Not making khuruj and making revolts against people who are in positions of authority, ulama and other than that. And another authentic hadith similar to this, Ikhwani, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned establishing these three things and the importance of them, that they're repetitive. They come in so many ahadith and ayahs of the Quran that support that. قال صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم ثلاث خصال لا يغل عليهن قلب مسلم أبدا إخلاص العمل لله إخلاص العمل لله والنصيحة لأئمتهم ولزوم جماعتهم. There are three things that the heart of the Muslim, it never opposes it, never goes against it, doesn't have a problem with these three things. First one is that he has ikhlas with Allah, ikhlas in Allah. The second one is that he gives advice to the Muslim leaders. The third thing is that he remains with the group of Muslims. So we want to deal with these three usul, inshallah ta'ala, from Ahl Sunnah, and how the people of Shia go against these three most important usul. Why did I say that? Some of the scholars of Al-Islam, they said that these three usul are the main ones, and that the other usul are secondary to these ones. Shaykh al-Islam, Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, as I mentioned to you, Ikhwani, in his book, Masail al-Jahiliyyah, he said about these three things and the role that they play in the life of the Muslim, the Muslim community. لم يقع خلل في دين الناس ولا دنياهم إلا بسبب الإخلال بهذه الثلاثة أو ببعضها. The problems that take place in the religion of the people and in the dunya of the people, they take place as a result of the problems that they have in these three things, or part of these three things. When the Muslims don't respect their leadership, problems. When the people don't have ikhlas to Allah Azza wa Jal, problems. When the Muslims are not united amongst themselves, problems. So these three usul are the usul of the people of Al-Islam, and the people of Tashayyu go against them night and day. Let's take the first one, and that is al-ikhlas in Allah Azza wa Jal. Al-ikhlas in Allah Azza wa Jal. You have to look at what the Shiite believe about Allah Azza wa Jal, as I'm sure you've heard already in both of the previous talks. If you were to look at some of what they say, it's clear that they don't even believe in the same Allah, the same Ilah, the same Rabb that the Muslims believe in, that the Muslims have ikhlas in. By their own tongues, they disbelieve in Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Khomeini, he said that they do not worship a Lord or a God who would allow rascals, like the little rascals. They don't worship a Lord or a God who will allow a rascal like Muawiyah or Uthman or Yazid to get leadership over the Muslims.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allah.